Has this started? Yes, it started. Okay, now we're live. Hello, everybody. For those who will soon join me, hopefully, I'm going to do a status update on Bitcoin, point out key levels, and help you make decisions, pretty much. So my job, as I see it today, is to give you key levels, key observations, possibly two scenarios, and for you to help, and for me to help you make decisions. And I'll give my perspective on what I think I should do, and maybe you can benefit from that. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll just wait for people to join us. And if not, I'll continue in a few minutes. So let's see. I'm just going to look at the panel, see how many people join, and then I'll give it about 3 minutes. We just kicked it off. And I learned a few more things today, a few more observations than yesterday, and what is more important to look at, and I'm going to point those out. So let's just get the charts ready. Some of this is repetitive, but then sometimes it's worth repeating for people to see it and understand, and then we'll move forward from there. So in front of me, I have pretty much taken the liberty to point out key levels and what's historically important, or what is important, and if you see those. Thank you, sweetie. So do you want to give me the tea? Thank you. So my role is to point out what the key levels are, how they determine price action in a way. It's basically letting you know what others will look for in terms of the trade, and I'll explain why we're bearish. A lot of people are bearish at the moment. And any input about BTC options expiry and its effects on price the coming Friday. Thank you. Any input about BTC options? I don't know what you mean by BTC options. BTC options expiry. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll try to, and its effect on price this coming Friday. Okay. I'll try to answer what that means, but let's just wait for a few more to join. And I take it that everyone can hear me clearly. In front of me is Bitcoin Perpetual, which is a FTX, but it's basically the same. And I've taken the liberty to draw this chart out. Okay. And you can see that it's curvature. There's a curve. Does that look like a strong formation, macro formation? It doesn't. So if I'm trying to convince anyone, I shouldn't. That the chart tells you that there's weakness there, right? So let's give a minute or two. And let's see if there's anyone on YouTube as well. Let's play this. So just recently, just looking at this price, we just saw a positive move, a small one, but it's still positive. So this is the daily, and let's start. Okay. So one of the mentors that I follow pretty much pointed this out, that this is like a banana curve, and he's basically saying that's a sign of exhaustion in the market. Exhaustion means there's not enough buyers. coming into it. And it's pretty evident when you see it from the perspective of price pulling back and then the rally it takes. So that's a significant rally from here. And then you can see the next one, not a nice deep pullback, but the new high is not impressive, is it? Compared to this, from there to there versus there to there, it's negligible. And from there to there, and then we have this deep pullback, really shows you that there's weakness in the market. So expect a pullback. That's what I'm getting at. There's no joking about that. Now the question is where it's going to pull back and when to get out, really. So that's my focus for today. What are the key levels and when to get out? And I did touch on this a few times, but here's another story. So just for the short term, very quick, the 4 hour. This is very critical. So this is line in the sand, as you say. If it drops below here, expect price to drop significantly. So this 4 hour bottom is very important, because if we lose that, then it comes down to the third, and then it opens the door. Yeah. So if we lose this level, which we're right now, that's going to open the door to go down significantly. This here, if price comes down all the way here, we're in trouble. The reason why I say that is generally when there is a dump, there's panic and they sell. Even when they're not meant to sell, that people sell more than they should. And that is that wick that usually is oversold. Now, if we come down here, knowing that this is oversold and panic selling, well, then while we're down there, why would we have more people selling? So that's not a good sign if we're to come down here. If we're to come down here, it will continue, in my opinion. So that's number one. Number two, this is the 4 hour. We don't want to lose a 4 hour trend. So we want to see this go back up. And there was a good response. So we've got the bullish candle, number one. Getting a bullish candle right there is what we expect. I bought in, even if it means I'll make money up to this resistance. That's still money, right? So, and I'll put my stop loss pretty much under here. So that's the trade. Buy, stop loss, and hopefully it continues up. We do expect price to go up, but we don't expect price to go up strongly. And let's talk about current chart and key levels. So what I've done is I've put all these key levels of support and resistance, and you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. I've got 59,500 roughly. I've got 57,000, and I've got about 55,000. Yeah, about 55,000, and then 53,500. These are the key levels I see in terms of price action. This is going to be the first resistance level, as there's a lot of significance in this area. It's just across the whole board. It's just wherever you look, that level is important. That's why we had the initial resistance there. Significant resistance level. Now, if we break that, then it's a good sign that this is the next target. So we need to see price break this level. And now this is the concern. This is where people like me are looking to get out, because we've recognized and acknowledge the weakness in the market. So this is my point of exit and potentially my point of shorting. If it overperforms, then we've got that level, which is about 60,500 or so. 60,000, and I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so just from that level, and the Fibonacci support this. If we were to assume that this is the trend, and if I was to put that there, this is the point of where it break. You know, everything we lost everything here. This is where it capitulated, and it was basically on this trend line. So if I was to get this trend line, and this trend line comes down to this level here. However, I want to stop there. Let me see. Are we disconnected? No. So that trend line is significant, and therefore, if price was to break this level, I don't think it'll come this way, but that will be the major resistance if that was a possibility. So 59,500 is the highest I see it going based on this, and you can see it goes right across. Okay, and so we want to see break 57,200. We've got a good response. Now let's look at the let's see the MACD. So you can see a slight bullish divergence, or it's actually convergent on that. You can say that not as steep, so there's a bit of a response there. And this is a good sign. We might get that little rally like that. So we need to keep an eye on this, because the moment this breaks, so this keeps going, that's a good sign. But the moment this breaks, that's where we are likely to make lows. So that's the RSI on the 4 hour. Okay, so I'll leave that line there, if that makes sense. Let's go get rid of those indicators and look at price action in more detail. There is a key points on this chart why we get these. So if you look at here, when price came up, so price came from here and it found support and went up. That's why I got this key level as support, and current will be above it. I'm about to sneeze, give me a sec. And we get that itchy nose and pending sneeze. So that's how I got that support level. Here again, bounce and up, another support level. Here again, bounce and up, support level. So therefore, 55,000 is a good support level. And on some other charts, it might be 55,500. So let's get rid of that. Okay. Now we have an interesting trend line, as you can see. I might just use this roughly like that. So let's get close. I'll get the log off. Let's get close and just show you. I'm just drawing a line from there, there. I don't know the significance, so I can potentially go for the bullish scenario. And we have something like this, cutting through. let's just stretch this out. It's going to be more clarity here. Okay. This is a methodology. It's looking for key pivot points, and it's really stemmed from this. We've got those three in a line, and I'm just going to extend our 3 lines. And so I should have to be able to correct this. This is usually midway. If this is a descending. Okay, so if this was potentially a downward wedge, we have this, a bit of a formation like that. We could potentially have this, and just if this goes up and then it can drop down, so we can potentially have a resistance. So this line there. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. When I say keep an eye on it, it will give us confirmation that if it's going to go down more. Okay, so got to use imagination a bit. If there's a triangle, it's going to be a reversal or it's going to be a continuation. Does that make sense? That's the line in the sand that I've said on the 4-hour. Anything that goes below this will definitely be a sign for people to get out, and it might drop hard. Where it will land, we'll talk about that next. So this is a scenario where it is potentially bullish. Not a bullish scenario. It gives cause for this pennant formation. So if this is a uptrend wedge, and we're dropping, and which we are, and I did say last time that this was the target, first target. So let me get that red. And the second target, based on this, before I get the logs. So far, we're seeing this. That's the second target, that level. And the third target is this level here. Based on this structure. Let me just fix that up a bit, like that. Now, if this structure is real, it will continue to go down. But we don't know is actually what's happening. All we know is we're taking observations. There's a few formations that are in there that you can draw any way you want. And the only way we're going to know is confirming is when price comes. So price has come already to here, part of that. So that's one confirmation. That's all we got. So if price for wedge scenario, we expect the resistance is either here or the slope. And usually price will jump back, make that last effort, and then drop if this was a true wedge or channel, either way. And so we're looking for that reversal, but the reversal might be weak. And that's why I'm saying this could be the highest it goes. I'm hoping that it goes higher, gives us a chance to get out there. Okay? And if price goes above this, then we'll go, if it breaks this level, then it's obviously going to go bullish. But I don't give much chance for that. So if this is the case, even if it drops here, it completes a bit of the descending wedge for an uptrend. So this will be a dangerous area, but it could also drop through. So this, in my opinion, if it comes here, it's going to drop more. And this formation is just a theory at the moment. So what we're looking for is a reversal formation and potentially just go up. And that's the likely scenario. And then we might see a different type of channel. Could be something in the middle like that. So we're playing these scenarios. But the key points on this are these levels here. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to make point of. And now let's look at what supports why we're bearish. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. I'm going to get the free moving averages on the daily. Now, if anyone knows about the 50 moving average on the daily, it's a key moving average. Okay, now let's look at the 50 moving average. This is the SMA moving average, simple moving average. And if you can look at this, and even if I put the log on, yeah, the last time the 50 moving average crossed over was down here. Right down there. That was your signal as another bullish sign to enter when the 50 was overtaken by the 10 and 20 moving average. And ever since then, they only touched it once, but it's never been below. Now we're looking potentially at the depth cross coming along. So if we look closer now, on the daily, we had the daily candle close underneath the 50 moving average. And then we had this green candle also closing underneath the 50 moving average. And we still got this one, red candle, also closing underneath the move. That's not good. So at the moment, the 50 moving average is playing resistance along with this Fibonacci. Now, this tool sort of it puts dots ahead to show you what it could forecast days ahead on the likely path of the moving average. So if you could, I don't know if you can see it. If I should, you can see the blue dots. So I'll draw it. I draw the blue dots here, here, and here. Right? It forecasts simple moving average. Let's see that. All right, I'm forecasting ahead based on that tool. That's the 50, and now we've got this one. I'm connecting the dots, the orange dots, and you can see what's happening, right? And now that's the 10, and this purple one, or burgundy, is the 20, and its path is there. Now you can see that's not a good sign either. So we've got these crossing over, and potentially the 10 crossing the 50, which is a depth cross. So if price was to go up, so this was price, and you can see currently the daily is much lower than the previous days. This is not good. We need to see the daily close up at least above, right? All these little finer details tell you a significant part of the story. If my online keeps dropping off, go to Facebook, YouTube. It's not my doing. So try the YouTube channel here. So on my so the YouTube channel here. Let's see. That's the link. And so let's see. It's not coming up. Yeah, there you go. So the YouTube channel's there. And if you want to, if I can click on the, where are we? So if you're having trouble, go to the YouTube channel here. It might be better. I can't control. Look, I've got a good network, so it's not my network. It's more to do with the platform. BNB. Okay, so it's bounced off that line. Cool. I missed that. Let me see what my trades are doing. Okay, where am I? Okay, let me continue on. So this projection is not looking good. So what we need to, so it does give way to the fact that even if we do go up, we can probably potentially find this level as resistance. That moving average is probably playing resistance, or the 10. So 20, 10, 20, even one of those could be playing resistance as well going forward. Okay, so this is why we're bearish at the moment. Until we see something tell us anything different, and so what we'll do is hold traders away. That's why we've got this crappy response on the bounce. Usually, if you look historically, other drops had a significant range with the wicks even and the candles, but this one is just, you can see it's dull. So it does make you think that there is danger for it to drop or go sideways. If it does a little, that's why I have 57,200. That's going to be a strong resistance. The 50 moving average is there, and 10, potentially the 20 as well, and the 10. The odds are against us on top of the formation. So this is your exit strategy, guys. I'm pretty much telling you what the exit strategy is. If it drops below this level, your exit strategy is there. And if it goes up, your exit strategy is there as well with these two levels. And what will happen in the meantime? More sideways at the moment. And let's get rid of this. And we've looked at the other moving averages. Let's see how they interplaying. Yep. So we've got the weekly 10 EMA also playing the same role as SMA. And we've got the WMA playing support there by those. So here I've got the green one. What's the green one? So that's the daily 50 moving average. Okay, so the daily 50 moving average is right in the middle. Interesting. So indecisiveness is there as well. So we like to see the daily 50 moving average be support. So we need this to go up in the day. We've still got another 10 hours. So in 10 hours, we'll know this is going to be a bearish scenario. We've seen a bit of a wick here. So 4 days in a row, or 5, we're seeing the wicks. It's a good sign. Remember I said a few days ago that we can see up to 4 or 5 candles on the 4 hour. These ones did take about 4 or 5 candles. Here we've got a fair bit now. It just shows that we really are struggling to go up. So it could be one of these scenarios where, right here, where we might have that kind of compilation on the price action. So it goes up and then goes down. So it could drag out, and it will give time for the alts to move. So that this going sideways gives the alts to move, but some of the alts are already done their highs. So that's what I have for Bitcoin, guys. Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum did a good bounce just before. So that's Ethereum against Bitcoin, done a real good bounce. So Ethereum itself is here. Let's switch that around and maximize that. And let's go to the 4 hour. Very good response with Ethereum. Much stronger than Bitcoin, right? So this level is support, and we did go below it, but I suppose it comes down to this area over here. So we had that triangular formation, you can say. The apex becomes a support of it, support level. And that's pretty much where it did. The apex of this formation, concentration of volume, is where we had support, and we pushed it up. Now, what formation is taking place here, I've got no idea. Well, we can see that's pretty clear at the moment. The resistance on that trend line, where that comes from, can't see it. So if we do it really to the wicks, that's Ethereum. Is this an uptrend channel or wedge? I'm not sure. At the moment, we just have two pieces of information now. It's even going to go like that, and we can probably continue on. So we just got no idea if this is actually it can be the right shoulder, head, and this can be the left shoulder in some way. It's a complex shoulder, head and shoulders. So this best potentially, if this is a bearish formation, and so let's have a look at this. If I was to delete all that, we have that line. We definitely have that line. So you can see how price broke it and found support on that line. Now, can we say there's going to be resistance at that level? These 2 points. So we're going to find resistance? Don't know. You can see a few things come into play. Made the mistake that thinking, some people think this is the top. It's very difficult, isn't it? 2,500 for Ethereum, is that the top? Or we're going to get a double top? Is Ethereum going to give us a double top? And drop, left shoulder, head, or right shoulder, or head. So looking at the bearish scenario, if Bitcoin was to drop, Ethereum will give us a bearish formation as well. But for the time being, there's a nice positive move. And that's all I got for Ethereum. So that's a key level now from this. We got a few levels coming out of this. And if I was to look on the left, there's nothing to go as a reference because this is all-time new high. If we were to put the Fibonacci onto it, it's almost aligned with the support as well. But I think this trend line was significant for that support. Number of touches, confluent. So that is. So when price broke that level, that was a bit of fake out. We found that wick, and now we're going to see what happens here. I'll just delete that. Let's see what happens. But this, if we lose this black line level, then we're going to head south. So now we've got a new support level that we've got to keep an eye on. Okay. Bitcoin dominance is pretty much as expected. Bearish divergence, but still heading south. That's good news for the alts, for some. But each step of the way, we're having a bounce. And you can see the bullish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance. So that was the first bullish divergence. And let's look on the daily or the 8 hour. Let's see what happens with the RSI. Okay, still hitting south, and that's the key level. So where is it headed to? There was that line that I had. One chart. And I don't get it, but I kept pulling that line there and it keeps disappearing. Yeah, I do not save it. That is so I can see this coming down all the way to this red line. And as it comes down, we're having these bumps of volatility. So alt season is not over until it comes down to here. Then we're going to see what Bitcoin does. That might be the case where Bitcoin dumps. Something's going to cause Bitcoin to go up when it hits this level. Right, so when Bitcoin dominance comes to this level, something's going to push it up. Because this is historically a bouncing area. And this is where the strategy of Bitcoin dominance comes into hand. It makes a lot of sense using this tool in conjunction with Bitcoin. And we can see here that each bounce had a lower high on RSI, and the alt's lost there. And what we're seeing here now is the beginning of it. Can you see it? We have one little bounce. Now we can see potentially this same level. There's a lot of RSI points of touching where there was bounces, and we're right there at the moment where we're having a bounce. So that RSI level seems to be important where we are right now. And the thing is, it could go sideways, and Bitcoin dominance could even drop still. But what it's doing is building up dominance. Let me save this up because I keep drawing that line. Okay. So I posted a short. It didn't hit my target. It was one of my targets. So I drew this before. And before price hit it, it hit the 0.382 Fibonacci and got a good bounce. So that's BNB. I still think that it's another shorting possibility. So I've got this trend line now. I drew it before I got this, so I'm being honest. And I drew this line before, and that became honest. Drawing lines before keeps you honest with your observations when you come back later. So that's a method. Keep yourself honest. Don't draw the lines based on what you see later. Draw them before, and then confirm later. Now I'll be looking at that. It's cake. Again, Cake's found support there. I missed that opportunity. Bummer. This is a 5-minute chart. Dodge. I was shorting this today, and Dodge is still looking bearish. So this trend line was broken. This is another trend line, and I would dare say we're going to find another drop. That's Dodge, from my opinion. Dodge it's a bubble, and it's slowly decaying. So we had two double tops, and this structure pretty much says the price is going to come down to here based on this route where this trend started. So I expect price to come down here on Dodge, and I should be looking to short soon. Another shorting opportunity for Dodge, because on the other Fibonacci, where I drew this, you can see it's also playing resistance, the blue line. So keep an eye on that. Another shorting opportunity there. For now, all I have is that. And that's pretty much a bear flag. Go with the trend. Trend comes down. This is the ABC correction. Question is, how deep is the ABC correction going to be? I'm not saying Dodge is going to, believe me, I'd love to say Dodge is crap and he won't go far, but it's just doing what the other charts are doing, an ABC correction. We cover the Ethereum, XRP. XRP is finding this resistance level. And it's also finding the 20 moving average on the, what's that, on the daily. So the 10 and 20, the black one's the 20 moving average as support. So if Miracles lose the 20 moving average on the daily, it's definitely going to bring it down to this level here. So currently, 20 moving average, similar to Dodge. It's either going to be a reversal or it's going to be a continuation. That's for Ripple. And there's a bit of opportunities there as well. Keep an eye on it. If it breaks that line, that's about a 20% drop. That's pretty good. And I think that's it, guys. Unless you got any questions, my job was to, I thought my role was to give you the key levels on Bitcoin. And I think I've done that. Hopefully I haven't confused you. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining. And as I point out on a few charts, there's some opportunities to go long and go short. And hopefully it helps you out to make those trades. Thanks again for joining, and I'll speak to you hopefully tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.